This is the third three-peat. And you know, as we often do on this radio show, the third, is it the third? It's the third?
The third Saturday of the month.
I've been doing these shows so often this week, I done forgot which day of the week it is, man.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's the third Saturday.
The third Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're back again, and we're doing a legal standpoint with Michael Todd. And
how many times do we have to do this for you to get that right, man?
what?
Legal standpoint with Michael J. Todd.
I'm sorry. Lawyers are always so particular about things. They always want everything, every T to be crossed, every I to be dotted. Michael J. Todd.
Thank you.
Okay. I have to. Michael J. Todd.
I mean, you wouldn't like it if I just said the Mish.
No.
You want to be the Commish, right?
The Commish.
All
the
right.
Commish.
All right.
So you know, hey, that's what we're doing. What's kicking it today, man?
Man, so many things kicking it, but you know, the first thing I want to do is I want to shout out to my boy, all the way from Washington D.C., Thomas Johnson, who's joined us, and I can see old Thomas there.
You can see him.
I can see him. I can see his name. He popped up.
He popped up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see my office mate Michael Lowe. He's in there, but we've got a we've talked about it.
I'm getting kind of jealous because man, I'm trying to check discreetly my Facebook Live. I don't even see me on here, man.
Really?
No, man. I guess I have to take your word for it. You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Well, I'm on my Facebook. So you saying?
I'm not. You're a lawyer. I mean,
Okay,
I just thought I'd ask.
All right.
That's all.
Well, you know, we've talked in the past, Ed, about different trials that have come up.
Right.
And I think back in November we talked about the Rittenhouse and we talked about the Ahmaud Arbery trials.
Right.
As it relates to the analysis of what was going on with the cases, and from that standpoint, what I thought would be the actual results of the cases. And you know, we've publicized, we've got another stage of the Arbery saga that's going on this past 2 weeks in Atlanta in federal court as it relates to the individuals that killed Ahmaud Arbery, the Michaels, the father, the son, and Brian. They are on trial in a federal case this week. And so I wanted to kind of touch base on that because, you know, it's really important, what's going on there in Atlanta and Georgia with respect to that case. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit again and kind of talk about that trial. You know, I was over getting my hair cut at Fluellen's International with my man, Ed Fluellen.
Man, you just dropping commercials in. You ain't even paid no money. Man.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, you know, you got me looking down. Like,
Oh, man,
he could at least pay. I mean, he could at least pay like something. Put 5 on it at least.
Well, this is legal standpoint. Maybe he paid me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But anyway, so, you know, one of the things when I'm over at the barbershop, you know, as the attorney, people always want to ask, well, what's going on with the court cases, things of that nature. And so, you know, I got that question this past week. They were like, a week before last when I went to the barbershop, they said, well, man, you know, the guys have already been found guilty. You know,
what else?
Yeah, what's this trial
That's
about?
barbershop time.
Yeah, what's the difference, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's the difference? So what I had to do was to point out that, hey, when the state trial was dealing with causes of action or charges of murder, right? Aggravated kidnapping, things of that nature. And the issue in that particular case is focused on, was it a wrongful killing of Ahmaud Arbery? The federal case is dealing with what we call a hate crime. And so while the killing is something that is a component of the charge, what we're also looking at is the mindset, more so not just of whether they were intending to kill, but also whether they had an intent to kill as a result of his ethnicity or race, right? Okay. And so that's something that's very important as it relates to this particular case. So That's the difference between the state charge and, let's say, the federal charge. Now, we're not, go on.
No, so it's like in layman's terms, you know, because we always do it like I explained to our brothers, you know, from the hood. It's like, okay, so one is just the crime itself, and the other one is, did you do it with malice or hate?
Or do it, yeah, with an intent for as a result of race.
Yeah.
Was race one of the factors, or one of the main factors that led you to commit this crime like you did? Okay.
So we, meaning black folks, just he did it because he hated him because he was black, but under the court of law, that ain't good enough. You know, it's like that's why we have people like you.
You got to prove it. You got to prove
okay.
it. Now, you know, the second question, of course, when you go to the barbershop and they ask you one question and you answer it, you know, they still going to ask you another question.
They do that to you when you're in the barbershop?
Yeah, man. I get it all the time.
And
man.
you have a law degree? And
Yeah,
you just can't shut them up like saying, I have a law degree, you don't. You work at
no. It's more so it's a thirst for additional knowledge. So they may ask. So they say, well, okay, that's cool, Todd. You know, I can understand all that.
That's the brothers in the barbershop.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, but the thing is, they already got life. So you know, like
what else?
What difference does it make?
Yeah.
Right. And so the point that I wanted to bring to them is that this was a hate crime. All right. They're looking at it to see if there was if they was committed as a result of his race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or whatever. When you look at the states, at the time that Ahmaud Arbery died, most states had hate crimes, all right, on the books. However, Georgia didn't. I wonder why not. I mean, are you surprised at that? There were 4 states that did not have hate crimes on the books as a charge. That was Arkansas, where my wife is from, South Carolina. They had Wyoming.
So they don't have hate crimes?
They did not at the time of Arbery's death.
So Arkansas.
Okay. Georgia, South Carolina, and Wyoming.
Okay, so all right, so that kind of makes sense.
Right.
Wyoming.
Right. Yeah. Nobody trying to go out there. Ain't no black folks.
No black. Well, they have Indians, indigenous Americans.
Well, they could.
Yeah,
that's true.
you know.
That's
true. So the hate crimes will be directed against them.
Right. So, but since then, 2 of the states have passed hate crimes: Georgia and I believe Arkansas.
Georgia and Arkansas.
Right. So we only have 2 now. But the thing is this:
South Carolina,
and you know, I read something just this past week where the guy said, "Hey, look."
Is it that's where Mother Emanuel?
And that's what he said. He said, "You know what? We in South Carolina, they had something happen, and they passed a new law like in 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, they took the flag down, changed the flag, and all that.
But they said, but Mother Emanuel, it's been years, and we haven't been able to pass a hate crime bill yet. So, why they're resisting, I don't know. But the thing is that so the federal statute has always filled in the gaps with respect to these states that didn't have hate crimes. Another reason why this hate crime prosecution is important is because, as we know, hate crimes over the past 4 years under the Trump administration have increased. Did you know that, Ed?
Right.
The last reporting period, which would have been in 2021, hate crimes were at its highest mark for the last 12 years. And in addition to that, hate crimes had increased for black folks by 40%. Hate crimes had increased against Asians by 70%. You follow me? So what we have this situation where this legislation was necessary, right? And the prosecution of this federal case is necessary to show the citizens who are being protected and also who are trying to perpetrate that these type of offenses will not be allowed in the United States of America. So it's something important with respect to this particular prosecution.
Okay, this particular prosecution.
Right, it's sending a message.
And the message that we hope to be sent is what?
That that the people that are protected by hate crime legislation will be protected, and that the individuals that perpetrate these type crimes will be prosecuted to the utmost of the law.
Okay,
So that's one of the things that we're looking at.
So when we come back, I think this is a good point for us to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, you came in with all kinds of papers and stuff.
Yeah, I got more stuff to say.
Well, we're gonna let you say it.
Well,
man. You got all this paper, man. You just.
Well, you know, when
when you lawyers come in with papers and stuff, that does something to me.
Well, yeah, I know. You know, sometimes when I had the papers, I've committed a lot of it to memory. So, you know, the good ones, we commit some things to memory.
The good ones.
The good ones, yeah.
You one of the good ones.
Well, that you know what? I'm just telling you what I've been told.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You heard it. He says he's one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones. That's all I got to say on that. We get ready to go ahead and listen to some good music because we got one of the good ones here on the Commish Radio Show in Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd.
All
Yeah,
right.
put the J in it this
My
time.
name is Byron Williams, former NFL player. I'm with the NFL Players Association, and when I'm not in the community, I'm listening to Mr. Ed Gray, the Commish.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
All right, we're making it look good. You're listening to Janelle Gray. That's the one we are promoting. Yeah, I mean, I got to do that.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. She didn't pay me any money, man. What's up with that?
But she may have paid me, man.
I was listening for Townview.
Hey, where's the Townview Realtor drop at? Yeah, that's town. We got to make sure you play that because we've been playing it all week.
You've been
Oh,
playing
wow.
it all week? Oh, well, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do that. You know what we're going to do? Townview Realtors is here right now. We've been playing. You've been listening to us all week long. And there's Townview Realtors right there. So we can go ahead and play her drop and put it on her. She's the graphic right there. So, yeah, so we go ahead and do that. So anytime you play Townview Realtors, just put it on her. Because you heard what she said. She said, I ain't heard my drop. What's
I
up
was
with
listening
that?
for it.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. What's up with that? So I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize. So you see, I'm used to saying that.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see. Hey, you
Just
good.
rolled right
Hey, you
off.
good at it.
Thank you,
man.
thank you. You see, I
Yeah,
put my hand on my heart.
yeah, like you promised.
Okay. All right, so Angelo, you got it now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Let's do
gonna
it
blame
next.
it.
We do it after next break.
No,
We'll do
yeah,
it
we're
after-
gonna
do it now, right quick, just right quick.
All right.
Yeah, then we go.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
All right, we're back again with me. It's all about you. We're running at 5:16. You know, we normally get these drops done by 5:20. So you know, we crossing the T's.
Right.
Man, I learned from you, man.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you.
Okay. That's why I said we can play it now, man.
I know.
So we're going with the the federal trial of the Ahmaud Arbery, not
Case.
the case. The Ahmaud Arbery
Well,
case.
he's the complainant.
He's
the individual
So
that's
it's the
deceased.
difference when we did the Ahmaud Arbery trial because he wasn't on trial.
Well, the thing is this: he was the complainant in both of the cases,
Right,
the
I
state and the
understand.
federal.
I understand.
The trial is actually United States versus the McMichaels and,
Right.
and the other
I just
gentleman.
wanted people to understand it because
Right,
some
right.
people started talking about Ahmaud Arbery was on trial when he was not.
Right, no,
But in this particular deal, it is the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Correct.
Because, again, stated the reason why.
Well, now let me ask, because I got a deal. Somebody asked, they said initially there was a plea deal for the hate crimes, and the judge rejected it. And they asked me, could I explain that? And as I was doing my research on this thing, something kind of popped up to me as I was looking at the different charges for the McMichaels and the third gentleman. And what kind of struck me, man, was that they had a plea deal where they were going to plead for 30 years, all right? Now, there are numerous charges against the individuals. They are charged with interference with rights. There's a count for both of the McMichaels. Then there is a count for Brian with respect to interference. Those counts the penalty range goes to life, right? Now, there were also some additional offenses, right, for aggravated kidnapping for all three of them. Now, if they were convicted of the aggravated kidnapping, they would have been looking at 20 years. The McMichaels also had two cases dealing with brandishing or discharging a firearm during, right, a felony offense, right?
Showing a gun.
Showing a gun, firing a gun, things of that nature. The penalty on that would have been 10 years. You follow me? So when you look at the 10 to 20 and the 10, basically what the defense attorney did was say, hey, look, man, I know you got him on the brandishing. I know you got him on the aggravated kidnapping. So that's 30 years. We'll plead to 30 years, right? And we won't have to worry about anything else about going to trial, right? Won't have to look for a lifetime sentence that would be imposed. And so the feds probably looked at it and said, oh, okay, that would be cool because that's still 20, that's 30 years. The 10 years runs consecutive to the 20 years, so he'd have to do 20, then do 10. He couldn't run them CC, meaning concurrently. And so that was the reason I think that they tried to do the plea agreement. However, the McMichaels tried to ease in an additional term that they would do this 30 years and also a concurrent term of 30 years from the federal offense, right? Now, they got to do a lot of time in the Fed, but they were like, we would do that all our time in the Feds. And that's what blew up the deal because the Arbery family said, no, we don't want them to do time in the Fed facilities. We want them to do time in the state facilities.
So that's like being on the streets. Fed time is easy time. Is that what we're talking
Well,
about?
it's not easy time, but it's a little more organized from what I understand, and it's a
Right.
little more.
That's why I was telling somebody time is time.
Right,
You
time
can't
is
do what
time.
you want to do.
Right.
That's no such thing as easy.
No, it's not easy. But the thing is this, I would anticipate that the federal time, the facilities, the programs that they have, things of that nature are better than what generally would be at the state level. So that's why they wanted to do that. But that fell apart, and so now they're looking at the total indictment, which is the interference counts, which is the aggravated kidnapping counts, and also the brandishing weapons counts. So they're looking at everything.
Now, how's that going to change it?
How's that going to change?
Yeah, I mean, how would it change? I mean, you got all that paperwork there. Is there going to be any new evidence presented?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. Now, the thing is this. The one thing I want to say, Ed, is that this federal crime, this federal hate crime, it's a little harder to be able to establish than the state trial. Because if you remember when we talked about the Arbery trial back in November, my position was, hey, man, the Rittenhouse case, yeah, that could have went either way, but this this Arbery trial, if this goes sideways, then it's a real problem. You remember we talked about that,
Right?
Okay. This case is a little harder because they have to prove, right, that the defendants acted because of Mr. Arbery's race or color. In other words, that the defendant acted because Mr. Arbery was African American. So that's a little bit harder to prove. Now, it's not just I don't like black folks, right? It's that I went and took these actions against this man because he was black.
Okay, so it's not against the law to not like black folk. Clearly,
Correct.
if that was the case, a lot of people would be in jail.
Correct.
So
Even some black folks.
even some, I got that. That's a joke about that. I think it was Chris Rock said that. I don't like. Yeah, okay. So now you have to prove that you did something wrong.
That the defendant acted because of his race or color.
Okay.
Now, there's another element that they have to prove also. That's because, you just don't get, somebody just doesn't shoot somebody and then end up in federal court. You've got to have some kind of nexus, some kind of factor that activates the federal jurisdiction. So in this particular case, that thing is what the fourth element is, that they say that the defendants acted against Mr. Arbery because he was enjoying the use of a facility provided by a state or local government, which was a public street. You follow me? So the public street, I'm just jogging down the street enjoying myself, right? And then they just grab me off the street. So that could be that triggers the federal jurisdiction. Now, people say, well, dog, I know people all the time get kidnapped off the street. What we have to remember is based on the race. And that's why I think that fourth factor may be a little more problematic than what we think. Because let's look at it like this. Back in 1968, right? Black man running through the wrong neighborhood. Group of white folks see him. They say, what's that N-word doing over here? Let's get him. They get him and they kill him, right? All right. They got him because he was using the street in their neighborhood, right? And it was because he was black. Well, in this particular case, they're saying that, well, we chased him and we did all of these actions because we thought he was stealing. It wasn't but because he was using the street. It was because we thought he was stealing. So that can be a fact issue that the jury has to determine. And one thing that we have to understand, we've seen it in the Trayvon Martin trial, we've seen it in the Philando Castile trial, we've seen it in so many trials. Some people will really, really, really focus in and try to split some hairs to let somebody off on some of these cases. Mm-hmm. And so that fourth element, we're talking about the race element, but the fourth element is really, really, really pivotal. But the thing is this, and what's gotten a lot of attention is the third element, when they're saying, did he act because of Mr. Arbery's race or color? And they were like, well, how can they prove that? Now, usually you would look at what occurred during the offense. Get him. Get that N-word.
Did they actually say the N-word?
Well, nobody said. Now, there was some evidence, right, that the last gentleman, Brian, that he said that McMichael said after he shot him and Arbery was laying on the ground, that he said something to the effect like, forget that N-word or something like that. In some kind of way he used N-word. I don't know the exact phraseology, but he referred to Mr. Arbery as N-word, right? So, of course, that would be something that would be pivotal or would be helpful to the prosecution. However, the third individual is on trial himself. So from that standpoint, they can't make him testify about what was said, okay?
Because that's like what, testifying against himself or something?
Well, he has a right against self-incrimination.
Okay.
So now they could have tried to introduce that evidence during the trial. I've looked at all the news accounts, things of that nature, because I'm pretty sure if that had been testified to, that would be something that had been reported. But I haven't found any mention of that.
So nobody said anything other than they didn't say no N-word or anything like that?
Well, it's my understanding that there hadn't been any evidence of that, specifically with respect to the event that occurred that day.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So they may have said it somewhere else.
Right.
Like somebody cutting them off in the flow of traffic.
Right. Well, the thing is, what the prosecution did is that they went through, and I'm going to tell you folks, as a criminal attorney, the one thing you got to do, if you're going to do something wrong, don't talk about it on social media. Don't put it on Snapchat.
Let me check right now myself.
Hey, don't put it on Facebook.
Yep. Facebook.
Don't put it on Instagram. Right?
Instagram, taking that one off.
Right. Yeah. Because if you are charged with something, the authorities are going to look at every social media account that you have. Everyone. Man, I've had so many times where I've had clients charged with aggravated robbery or something, and then we look at their Facebook, and they got deals on there where they got the guns in their hands, got money all sprawled out, drugs all right there, girls not even clothed right, and all of those things just come in, and they like, oh, your man, bad man Butchie Woods. And I'm like, oh, no, that's just a misrepresentation of him.
That's what you say?
Oh, yeah, got to.
Oh. Okay. Angelo, what do you think about this show? You never did this one before. Remember, when we doing this one, nobody else's drops except, okay. Okay.
So the thing is that you have all of these things on social media. So what the prosecution in this particular case did, they said, well, let's start going through the social media and let's see what we have. And man, it's been like a treasure trove of stuff.
Oh, so you done found some stuff?
Oh, yeah.
You're really
Now,
good at what you do, man.
Oh, well, I try to be.
I just thought that you was just like, like me, just
kind of just freewheeling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man.
Okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
It just sounds like that sometimes, man. But it's something behind it.
I know.
So,
But
but
you got
anyway, so what I did is I went through different news accounts, things of that nature, as it relates to what has been testified about at the trial. And Ed, the thing is this: I've got a guy, man, that used to work for me, a guy named Seth Cummins, right?
Oh, you just mentioned the whole brother's name.
Yeah, Seth used to work for me, right?
Okay, there you go.
You
did say the whole name, man.
You know what? I shouldn't have said his
You
whole
shouldn't have
name.
said nope.
Because you know what?
Redacted.
You know why? Because I'm about to give up a secret, man.
Don't give it up.
Don't give it up.
Don't
Don't give it up. Don't give it up.
Don't give
Don't give it
up
up.
the secret.
Don't get
I can't give
redacted.
up the secret.
Y'all don't know his name.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What I will, I will direct the people listening to Facebook, not to listen to what he just said.
Okay, well, just play Bob Marley or something. They'll cut us off.
Just do that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But anyway, all I'm going to say is this, is that a lot of things that are said behind closed doors are things that are pretty harsh, right? I just say it like that.
Okay.
But anyway, as it relates to this, what we have three individuals, right? We have Greg McMichaels, Travis McMichaels, and then we have Brian.
Yeah, Rhodey.
Yeah, Brian Rhodey or whatever his name is.
He got one of them country boy names like Rhodey.
Yeah.
Like, he bad, he got
Right,
named
right.
Rhodey.
So what happened, they look, and when we're talking about Greg McMichael, now Greg McMichael is 66 years old. Older dude, right? So they didn't have much on him from social media because he had his stuff encrypted
Wait a minute, he had his stuff encrypted
on his phone.
on his phone.
Right.
He's 60-something years old, 66. years old.
66.
Had his stuff encrypted on his phone.
Encrypted.
Oh, he been doing some other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it was encrypted so well, the FBI couldn't get into it.
Oh, yeah, he in something else.
Yeah. So
He just ain't like, looking up old girlfriends on Facebook.
right.
No, he into something else.
Right. So the thing is this, but they went through and they found a few things on Facebook about him, right? And they said, number one, and let me point this out. The government is trying to show the racial attitudes of these individuals, but they're also showing that they are vigilantes also.
Okay.
Because that vigilante kind of attitude coupled with the racial attitude is what led to Arbery's death. You follow me? That's the theory. So one of the things they found on old McMichael, he says a gun in the hand is worth more than the entire police force on the phone.
Wait a minute, is it this the guy that used to work on the police force?
He was a yeah, he used to be an investigator for the district attorney's office. He was a law enforcement individual. He said a gun in the hand is worth more than the entire police force on the phone. They say one time, right, with respect to him, they said that he posted on his internet, he said that white Irish slaves were treated worse than any other race in the U.S. And that was followed by a lot of vulgarities about black folks. And then he said, but the white Irish slaves did not request free stuff like black folks. You follow?
Free stuff.
Right. Now, this is the dad. So we know the apple don't fall far from the tree. But the dad also said, you remember when Julian Bond died?
Right.
That was back in 2015. Julian Bond was a politician from Georgia, did a lot of great things, helped black folks all around the country. When Julian Bond died, old man McMichael said he wished that Bond had been put in the ground years ago. He was nothing but trouble. Those blacks were nothing but trouble. That's the dad, right?
And
Now-
he's 66 years
66.
old? He's 6 years older than me.
Right.
So, okay.
So then the government, they said, okay, we got, we don't have much on him, but of course we do have him, going behind.
But his stuff encrypted.
Yeah, his stuff is
But
encrypted.
we don't know.
Right.
Because it's encrypted.
Right. So, but that's what they had. But we
Sort
do
of-
know what he did that day,
Yeah, we do know
to
that.
kind of give
but
a
it's
flavor
encrypted.
for what his mindset is.
Okay, it's
All right.
encrypted.
But then we have Brian Roddy, right?
Okay.
And Roddy was in a unique kind of situation. He didn't have a whole lot of stuff, but whenever the Martin Luther King holiday would come by, he had a bunch of stuff to say about that. He said something about he ain't gonna be the grand marshal of N-word day, right? He said that they were just a bunch of, he told one of his friends about the monkey parade that was going over on Gloucester Street. Okay? He,
Where did you get this from?
news accounts.
Yeah,
as
but would it
relates-
come from Facebook? What?
Yeah. Those were Facebook. No. Actually, some of those were actually text messages with his friend. They got in his phone.
Oh, they got into it.
They got in his phone. We're talking about Roddy now.
All
Brian,
right.
Brian Roddy.
Okay,
So-
I'm just deleting stuff from my phone right now.
So they got into his stuff. So he was saying, the monkey parade. But what was really important, right, was that. Can you do that again? What was really important was that his daughter was dating a black guy.
Whoa. Okay, so his daughter was dating a black guy.
Right.
He says all this negative stuff about black guys. Could it just be that he just didn't like the fact his daughter was dating a black person? I mean,
Well, the thing is this. He said some things with respect.
why does it have to be racial? I mean, hey, he just don't like
Well, you know
those-
what?
those people.
He was telling.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate now.
Well, the thing is this. He didn't like the black folks. We got to take this and look at it in the context of what he did that day.
Ah, okay.
You follow me? And so, he didn't like the fact that his daughter was dating a black guy. Told his boys, that's the final straw. That's the one thing that I can't accept. Things of that nature.
But he never did anything to his daughter's boyfriend, though.
Not that I'm aware
Right.
of. Now there was no
Okay.
evidence
All
with
right.
respect to that. But it just listed just as what.
I mean,
what-
it just goes figure. I
right,
mean,
right. Now,
misplaced anger. Can't do nothing to him, huh?
now, but the key to the whole thing was old Travis McMichaels.
Oh, that's the young dude.
That's the young one.
Oh, so how old is Travis?
Now Travis is
30.
36.
36.
Yeah, 36.
So he probably on those dating sites and all that stuff.
Right. Oh,
Probably
now
doing that.
Travis was.
I mean, so he's out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's out there.
He's out
So
there.
he don't even he's young enough not to even have had a MySpace account. or
Right,
anything.
right.
So so he's out there.
Right. So now listen. This is some of the stuff that was introduced in evidence with respect to Travis.
Okay, what Travis got?
They said that Travis spoke explicitly about committing violence against black folks and blamed them when he struggled to get a commercial driver's license.
Wait a minute, he didn't get a commercial driver's
A
license?
commercial drive. Now, how could you
Now,
not get a commercial driver's license?
But he blamed black folk on
Yeah,
that?
he
Because he
accused-
couldn't get a driver's license.
He said
a CDL.
A CDL.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had one of those before.
Wait. He said he accused them because they were running the show.
They were running the show.
They were running the show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they were the ones behind the counter
Right.
saying that he couldn't have a license.
Right, for some reason.
Okay, I got it. For
Right,
some
right.
reason that
For
he
some
didn't
reason he
pass the
couldn't get it.
test.
But it was all their fault.
Well, okay, I understand. It's always somebody's fault.
Right.
It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault.
Now, the thing is this. They showed, he looked at some footage where black folks were assaulting some white folks.
Okay.
And then he basically was like, oh man, they ought to kill all on black folks. Things of that nature, right?
But who's the one that pulled the trigger? Was it
That
the
was
old one?
Travis.
That's Travis.
That's
Oh, the
Travis.
young dude.
The Travis. That's Travis.
Okay.
Travis, he referred to black people as savages and monkeys, and often associated them with criminal activity in online posts and in online posts. One time, one of his friends had gone out and said that he had ran into a bunch of black folks while he went out, and McMichael said they ruin everything. That's why I love what I do.
What did he do?
Not an N-word. He worked at some type of security or something with some type of company.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
he's like a fake cop.
Yeah, fake cop. So he says, that's why I love what I do. Not an N-word around, right? And then when one of his boys one
Or
time...
a bouncer at some kind of restaurant or something
maybe
like that.
something like that.
You know how you can't get in because your
I would think
beard's
that because
not- yeah.
he didn't have a CDL license.
It had to. I mean, you get your jobs any kind of way you can get them. Okay.
So he was about to meet one of his boys one time at the Cracker Barrel, right?
Okay.
The place that was sued for discrimination like 20 years ago. But, I'm sure they cool now. Cracker Barrel. So he was going to meet his boys at the Cracker Barrel. And his boy said, man, there's a bunch of black folks up here
At the Cracker Barrel.
at the Cracker Barrel. And so his response...
There's a joke somewhere in that, counselor. I know it is. And
You
I'm
say
not going to
what?
fall for it.
He said, well, they need to change the name from Cracker Barrel to N-word Barrel.
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it was coming.
Now, let me quote him right. From Cracker Barrel to N-word bucket is what he said. So I guess he's trying to say bucket of chicken or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. One time he said, "Oh man, now this is a good one, man. This is a good one."
And we're gonna have to go to a break because that's.
No, I got 10 more for this dude.
Nah, but you
Yeah.
getting me on this one right now. I'm trying to stay true to form, and you're almost blowing it for me, counselor.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead.
They had a picture of a disabled person, right? Where this guy was in a wheelchair, just disabled and was all messed up, right? You follow me?
Right.
And on those pictures, the guy in the chair had a jersey on, right? And on the jersey was some wording. And guess what the wording said?
What's that?
At least I'm not a N-word.
That's what it said.
That's what it said.
Time to go
He
to
was
work.
all messed up physically, but he said, at least I'm not an N-word.
And with that, that's when we get ready to go to our break. All right. Okay.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
This is your community constable, Bill Gibson, representing Garland, Mesquite, Rowlett, Saxe, Centerville, and East Dallas in Precinct 2, Dallas County. And you are tuned into the Commish with Ed Gray.
All right, back again, Commish Radio Show, Townview Realtors, and also we had Bill Gibson running for office, and we have Ms. Tartisha Hill. She is sitting in the audience today. She's running for U.S. Congress, the 5th Congressional District, and the great state of Texas. So we still have her here. So I appreciate you for being in the audience here. We want you to do one of those drops that we had, and we'll play that when we're not playing Townview Realtors.
That's
drop.
right. It'll be your turn.
Well, what else you got, Castle?
Well, you know, just like I said, I mean, I could go on and on with respect to some of the things that Lil McMichael said. I mean,
Lil McMichael.
Lil McMichael. So
You good with these little nicknames?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
give.
Lil McMichael.
Lil McMichael.
yeah, Lil McMichael. He
What do you call the elder one?
old McMichael.
Old McMichael.
Right.
Okay.
The other one's just
That's-
old Brian.
Okay.
You know, 3 old good old boy. Now, you know what? I forgot one thing.
What's that?
Travis, Lil McMichael,
Okay.
right? He had on his car the day that he killed Ahmaud.
A Confederate flag.
He had a Confederate flag
I knew that was coming.
on his license plate. Now get this. Now we already talked about that.
That's
Travis
not
was
against
young.
the law, though.
Well,
is
I
it?
know, but listen to me. Listen to me. Back in 1956, after the Brown v. Board of Education, right? The state of Georgia changed their license plate to include a Confederate flag as a protest in their stance against integration. So the license plate then, starting in 56, had this Confederate flag as a part of the license plate, right? That license plate was changed in 2001. So from 2001, they hadn't even had that license plate. But on the day that Ahmaud Arbery was killed, Lil McMichael had that license plate, a replica of that license plate, a vanity of that license plate on the front of his truck. You follow me? That showed that flag that was basically put there to show opposition to the federal mandate that had come down as far as desegregation. Now, for the first couple of months or whatever after this, because you remember, after Arbery was killed for about a couple of months, everybody was cool. Oh yeah, this is over with, man. But then the video got out, and then that is when the heat became hot on the McMichaels.
Where the video come from?
The video, you know what? I knew at one point it got released some kind of way.
It's only like 3 people could have did. Could
It
it
was
be?
Rhodey, right?
Was it Rhodey? It was
think
somebody
it was-
released it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he must have sent it to somebody.
Sent to somebody, and somebody sent it to somebody. But anyway, it got released. And lo and behold, they testified at the trial this past week that when they saw the vehicle, at sometimes after the heat got out, for some reason that vanity plate wasn't on the truck no more. You follow me? So what he was trying to do, well, why you take it off? I mean, if you ain't do nothing wrong, and if you got it on there, and you got the First Amendment right, why'd you take it off? But of course, that goes to the whole mindset that the government is trying to show. Now, this jury is a mixed jury. I think they've got 3 black folks, 1 Hispanic person, 8 white folks. And the thing is this: just like with Arbery's trial that was in state court, I think it was 11 white folks and 1 black person, but they did the right thing. So I'm not getting caught up into the composition. But we do need to understand that this trial is a little different from the trial that was in state court. And it could be a little more of a closer question as it relates to these elements that I've outlined with respect to whether they acted on his race. Now, I think that's pretty strong, especially in light of the jury instructions that they're going to receive, and also with this other evidence they've introduced. And this is just a tip of the iceberg of what's been reported. You know, they've had 20 people who've been testifying. One lady came in and said that she used to work with Travis McMichael back in 2011. She saw a guy on TV that she used to date that was in the NBA, and he started giving her the business, talking about she was an N-word lover. And just, you know, so I think it's a lot of evidence that's there, separate and distinct from what we've outlined. But what we have to remember is that they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they acted because of the race. And when I say race, it doesn't have to just be solely because of race, right? It could be, but that has to be one of the factors. And so, and they also have to show that the race was a factor with respect to trying to keep him from enjoying the roadway. So it's a closer case, right? But it's a case that I think is going to send some strong indicators to the society of where we are and where we're going.
So they're in trial now?
Yes, they have the prosecution and the defense rested and closed yesterday. They will start with closing statements on Monday. That's probably going to be pretty lengthy. It'll probably take all day with respect to the closing statements. So it would probably be late Monday or maybe Tuesday.
Monday? They're in trial on Monday on President's Day?
On President's Day. They are going to work on President's Day.
Wow.
And so it'll probably be late Monday or either Tuesday before the jury gets the charge and then makes a determination with respect to this. It's important though, and hey, everybody needs to be able to watch, because we don't want it to be a situation like we had yesterday where the killer cop only got 2 years.
We have 2 more minutes. I know you want us to watch this. Is there any way we can watch this trial, Ahmaud Arbery case?
Now, you know what? I doubt it, because a lot of times the federal courts don't allow the federal proceedings to be televised.
Okay.
They would have to follow the rules from the Supreme Court. I know the Supreme Court does not allow it, for the Supreme Court proceedings. So, and I've never seen a federal trial. I'm just trying to. I mean, that's a good question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't believe so. But if so, all you got to do is Google, and
right.
If it's out there, it'll be there.
Well, Angelo's giving us a sign saying we are almost out of time right now. So, hey, give us a close and we're out.
Well, the thing is this, our country is in a position where we're kind of at a crossroads. We're looking for good indications. We're looking for progress moving forward. And hopefully these 12 citizens that make up this jury will do the right thing as it relates to finding these individuals guilty.
All right. Townview Realtors, we're glad that you're here. We're getting ready to play the Townview Realtors drop one more again.
One more again.
And that's Oak Cliff. I can speak another language, Oak Cliff. So that's it. So hey, we'll be back next week.
Hey, if he speak Oak Cliff, we should speak 3-4 languages.
Let's sit right here for a second.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ed Gray of the Commish Radio Show. Stay tuned and tune in and be up to speed on everything in social justice, human rights, and politics on the Commish Radio Show, airing every Saturday, 5 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Jump in.